Hi, everybody.
No. Hi. How you doing?
Good. How are you, Sue?
Okay.
So I was on Saturday night, the Saturday Night Bomb last night, and Bob Garrity apologized for not being
No,
not being here to do the PDAA. I'm getting feedback. I don't know if it's me or not.
you're going in and out a little bit.
Okay.
Well, it's been crazy. Trying
For
to
me,
work on the,
for me too. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Sue. Didn't mean to cut you off.
that's right. I'm trying to work on that ukulele thing, and I don't know if I'm going to be ready. I'm like, it's just, I haven't done hardly anything with the guitar. It's been crazy, and this week looks to be even crazier. So,
Well, it is what it is. You know, you can maybe record something, record a practice. I don't know. I was thinking of that. I thought, well, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to be there. So I might just record it and post it and say, this is my recital piece, like I
I,
did for the classical.
yeah, well, I'm thinking about recording too because I don't have like a studio set up that and tested to feed
Mm-hmm.
live.
Mm-hmm.
So I was gonna record it anyway, but I don't know if I'm still like eking through both the class stuff
Yeah.
and what I was thinking about um presenting. So I may actually end up doing it and putting it out there later.
Hey, that's fine.
I'm going through this and I'm thinking this is becoming too stressful, and it's not supposed to be.
Yeah. That's how I feel about it. I know that I gave us a week off more or less on the PDAA. Where is it now? Oh, scrolling through trying to find it. I want to say it's not this, it's the following, like after this.
Well, I'm hoping it calms down as we go into February.
Yeah.
There's only two people that do the job I do where I work,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them's been out going to be out 2 weeks this month.
Wow.
Combined with the fact we're coming back from Christmas, and we have a lot of systems now going live, and a lot of people trying to catch up on stuff, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
ah.
Yeah, so I gave us off the period that's February 5th to February the 18th. I was thinking of calling it like
Valentine's.
Valentine's Day, something about giving you the love or something. So that's kind of
Wait,
why I put it on that period of time because of Valentine's Day.
so you have that as
It's all review. It's all you can do. You can do nothing. It's all review.
all
There's
right.
nothing new.
I must not have the most recent schedule then.
No. The original schedule has been modified a few times. So anyway, I didn't even put up this week's. I got to put up the week of the 14th session. But I'm hoping that everybody would find the link because I tried twice to use his link with his host code and it will not let me get into that at all. So that's why I posted the second link. So I'm hoping everybody finds it.
He gave me that code too, Michelle. I tried it. I couldn't get in either with it.
Mm-mm. Now, there's something that he has in the setup of his system that doesn't allow anybody else to host. I think if he went into the advanced settings, because I was looking at my host settings, and I think if he went into the advanced settings, there's a way that you can put people's email addresses as long as that email address is attached to their Zoom account. And that will allow them to take over as a host. But until he does that, it won't happen. And he tried to do that for me early on. I know he did because I got emails saying Colin wants you to be a host, but I didn't have a professional Zoom account and it wouldn't let me do whatever I wanted to do at the time.
Yeah.
And then now I've upgraded, so.
Well, I saw your link. I saw when you posted your new link, and then I promptly went in and selected the wrong one. And I was like,
Sounds like a Michelle move.
and then I was like, do I have the right link? And I was like, no, I don't. You want me to get into the other one and see if somebody's in there?
Sure. Colin and I had discussions about whether or not we wanted to actually put in a week break because he was afraid that we were already disincentivized somehow, or we were already slowed down, and he didn't want to create more of a slowdown. He wanted to create an incentive, and a catalyst, something that would be catalytic rather than something that is slowing us down. So I don't know. We're going to give it a shot and see.
People seem to get to a point where if they think they're too far behind, they just quit. So it's good to have that break.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. I had mixed feelings, and I understood exactly where he was coming from because I had the same thoughts. But then I thought, people just need a break. It's a 2-year project, so sometimes I might try and fit in another break somewhere along the line as we get closer to the end.
Right. What I've done is I've concentrated on the stage, the finger pickers, and the academy. And I've mostly been able to keep up with that by sort of ditching some of the other stuff for now.
Yeah. And I was trying to do that too. I was thinking of doing the same thing and just focusing on my focus for myself personally, I guess like you, is finger picking. However, I do still like to strum. I do want to get better at strumming techniques and rhythm. Flat picking is not something that I really have I shouldn't say this. How do I say this? I don't feel like it's the way I want to play.
Right. I understand.
But there are so many great flat picking, and flat picking fits into when you're doing rhythm guitar. If you want to do a little solo, of course you got the pick in your hand, so the flat picking is the way to go. So I'm thinking, well, I really want to learn that to be able to incorporate that into some rhythm, but that's not doesn't really thrill me. So
right. And I'm almost, except I like the flat picking better than I do the rhythm. I've been accused of not having any rhythm, so maybe that's why.
Okay. You have a heartbeat, you have rhythm.
Yeah.
Everybody has rhythm.
I have a lot of trouble trying to play with a metronome. So I'm trying to work on rhythm. Strumming is weak. I'm still struggling with sometimes just basic transitions. So I'm just trying to keep at it. I like the percussive stuff though. I really do.
I like it. I don't like working on it.
Right, yeah. Nobody was in the other meeting.
Okay. That's us.
So maybe definitely just put out the fact that there's a new schedule.
Okay. Yeah.
You were talking about transitions, that triads in stage. Those transitions are, how do I put, interesting. I've put a lot of work in those, but they are tough.
Going into the assignments right now. I'm trying to put in the 14th. Well, I'll put it in there. Let's get that in there.
I don't even know. I've got to completely regroup because this week has just been. But that's okay. I'm accepting it as normal and taking it from where I am.
So I haven't unfortunately and sadly and ashamedly, I haven't posted a darn thing since our last session, which I really have to do. I don't know. I guess I'm a little bit like, like you said, Sue, I got my fingers in so many pots right now. And I don't know. I just have to make this a priority. And I think what I'm going to try to do is every morning I get up, and I open it, and it's just a habit that I've developed over since I've been involved with TAC over the last 2 to 3 years. And I open up TAC and I do the morning challenge every single morning. And most of them are repeats. There are some that aren't repeats, but most of them are repeats. And I think that maybe what I need to do is switch to acoustic adventure and make that my morning, whatever 15-20 minutes that I do first thing in the morning with my, when in between drinking my coffee, sipping my coffee. And I think that's what I need to do. And I think if I make that transition, it'll be good. But it's like it's building a habit. So I have to build that habit and exercise that habit muscle in order to do that every day regularly, which I haven't done.
I'm flunking on the habit part with this, with exercising, with playing the horn. It's just, oh, and then I keep saying I need to get up earlier and set aside time before the day starts, but I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, that's what I did. When I started playing guitar, I realized that I wanted to practice more, and I didn't really feel like I had time in my current schedule. So what I decided to do was to get up earlier, and I get up between 5 and 5:15 every morning. I don't have to be to work till 8. I leave the house about 7:30 to 7:25, except for Mondays. I have to leave earlier because I leave early from work to go to my guitar lesson. Um, and so I've that at that morning time I book out for doing my guitar. So if I never make it in the evening, which I almost always will practice in the evening, but if I never make it in the evening, I know I've done my guitar practice in the morning. I've gotten that in. That's my personal commitment to playing guitar. But so I have no
I can't even use leaving the house to go to work because I'm working remote.
Oh,
But
lucky.
yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. It brings a whole new different set of work-life balance issues into play.
Yeah, I'm work from home too, so it seems like I'm always on work sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. We had been working remotely for a little while, and actually then there was a question of whether we wanted to go back to the office. And I said to my boss, I said, I have so many distractions at home. I'd rather go back to the office.
Mm.
So now I'm sorry because now we're 100% back to the office, and she just feels like, well, she likes everybody there and she doesn't know whether she wants to let us be remote. And I keep telling her, well, let us do like one day a week remote.
We go in one day a month
Mm.
so that we can kind of touch base with everybody and have a group meeting and which I mean I'm further from the office now, so that really works out well. Um, our group always was, we always used to say, well, we work remote when there's, when there's a crisis or when we're on call. But now it's tough. I mean, it's tough because sometimes the days are much longer than you want them to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when they say that you're not productive working, I mean, some people feel that people aren't productive from working at home when you're working at home. I can say there is no quiet quitting in my department. we're all still
All
going crazy.
working. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all still going crazy.
Okay, so I found, while we've been talking, I finally pinned the session number 14, which is today through February the 4th. And that's up. And then we know we're going to have, I don't know if we want to even have a session or if we want to have a session to talk about. Well, I'll leave that to Colin to decide if he wants to have a session, the following session, to talk about how and if and when we got caught up, or if we want to just give ourselves a complete break. So like I said, I'll leave that to him as far as the Zoom. But this will definitely meet on the 5th and then decide what to do, I guess, the following.
One thing I would say that the finger picking patterns, I kind of wish he had broken them out and not put them all in one video.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
But that's the only thing. Other than that, I'm really pleased with this course.
Yeah, I am too. It's been a great course.
Yeah. It's very challenging especially for me
Yeah,
at the level that I'm at. It's really challenging.
I think it's challenging for everyone. I mean, he
Yeah.
throws a lot of stuff and he assumes a certain background, which not all of us have all the times.
True.
Yeah, he gets the incredible amount of little nuances in every lesson, in every presentation.
Mm-hmm.
And I find myself going back and watching them multiple times.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That's for sure. Yeah. Well, I don't know what else. If we want to talk about anything else, any other challenges, concerns, tips?
Time is the main challenge for me. Can get past that challenge, will be grand. But like I said, I'm gonna make the decision. I'm hoping to spend most of the rest of the day just fiddling around with string instruments.
Mm-hmm.
That's after we get around swapping TVs around. But then that's my goal. Do you guys, Mike? Do you have any? You getting any snow?
Yeah, we got a light dusting last night, but it was a top of about 2 or 3 inches from a couple days ago. So we're getting cold, yes, and snow.
And where are you living? I know you're
Nebraska,
Nebraska. Oh,
Omaha, yeah.
okay.
I know you don't have snow, Michelle. That would
No.
really be an occasion.
That would really be a miracle. I don't know. And heading of a new ice age around the middle.
Now, are you in Port St. Lucie? Are you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Right on
Yeah.
the coast.
I was hoping to get down there for the gathering, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen.
Oh, I understand. Yeah. No
Too
matter
many.
how much, no matter how much you plan or how much advanced planning you notice you give people that, things just happen. And we're gonna have I think we're gonna have about 10 people there, which
Wow.
will be a nice group. I
Yeah,
didn't
that should be
expect,
nice.
for a while there was like, oh, is it gonna be 6 of us, 4 of us, 6 of us? And then just, recently a couple other people signed up. So I think we're going to have about 10 people there. My guitar teacher is going to be doing a workshop in the morning, kind of like a general open ask the expert. So he does
Okay.
everything. He does fingerstyle, he does flat picking, he does rhythm guitar. He's been playing, I don't know. I have to ask George how old he is. I'm going to make a guess, say that he's in his mid to late 30s. I could be wrong. And he's been playing since he was like 6 or something. I don't know.
Wow.
And his father was a local, well loved guitar player his whole life. So his father was a performing guitarist his whole life. Did a lot of bluegrass and flat picking. But of course, George was he was a little bit of a metalhead when he was younger, so he learned different genres than his dad. So he's got well balanced.
Well, that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was when I saw it the other day. I went, oh, I forgot about that. I'm like, we're not gonna be able to go.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm just hanging in there and just keeping. At this point, like I said, I feel like this last week was just lost. I gotta find where I am.
Yeah. And my problem with one of the other issues besides being focused on tack, and I need to make that transition, that I realize is that when I'm stressed, I pick up the guitar and I just play, doodle, do stuff that I like. And I can't seem to, like, my focus is gone and I can't seem to focus on anything new. And so I'm hoping that the work stress, but well, you guys don't know about it, but I did write it to a note to our planning committee for the meetup, that because I wanted to move back our next session our next Zoom session that we're getting together, because my county administrator left the position for a new job. The county attorney is the interim. since he's been interim, he's canned the 2 deputy county administrators and
Wow.
the HR director, and everybody is like on their pins and needles. And then this week, for the first time ever since I worked there, and people have been there for like 20 years, first time since they've ever worked there, we actually had a lockdown because someone called, one of the contractors called the planning department and said that they were going to come shoot everybody up because their contractor's license was not renewed.
Wow.
So we were on lockdown, and we practice all these things all the time, and then all of a sudden the phone's going off and it's a code yellow, which means you stay in, and like we're going, oh, what the heck's going on? And we're trying to look out the window to see if there's, because it means there's an outside threat, which I didn't even realize that it meant that someone might be threatening to come in with a gun or explosive or some harm. So I didn't realize that was also considered an outside threat. I just meant like there's a major accident outside. So I'm looking out the window going, what's going on out there? Oh, clueless. Then we find out what happened. We're like, okay,
Well, I think
scary.
I think the stress level now is higher than it was a year ago. Only because there seems to be just so much crazy uncertainty. So, and until that calms down, which it will.
It will. Yep.
So
yeah, there's a in the U.S. where I don't know about the outside of the U.S., but in the U.S. we're all talking about recession right now, and there's a University of Central Florida economist that is his predictions are so right on that he's actually featured in the Wall Street Journal, and his name is Sean Snaith, Snaith, and he says we're like in a possible recession. So he says it's not going to dip. He says we're in a little possible. So we're in a very broad, shallow recession, and we're going to come out of it. He anticipates we're going to come out of it by next year. But until then,
nice.
we've got this. So it's not going to dip down. The biggest thing that's of concern right now for economists is, well, because I'm in budget, so we study this stuff all the time, is consumer confidence. Our consumer confidence is down, and productivity for some reason is down. And so there's the question about remote work. Is it remote work? And so people are not producing, or, we don't know. They're still trying to figure out why the productivity is down, but our GDP, gross domestic product, is down. But we're at full employment. The United States, we're at full employment, so we don't have a lot of unemployment. It's just that the people that are employed are. What term did you use before? That was the first time I read that term.
Quiet quitting.
Quiet quitting. The first time I read that was when I was reading this economic stuff. Yeah, a lot of people might be quiet quitting.
I work in healthcare IT. So for a health system, so we have multiple hospitals and remote sites, and our system is full. Our system is busy. We had one hospital that for a couple weeks was running at like 104, 105%, which means there's people in the hallways in the ER area. So they budgeted, and I've known the CFO for years, and he's really good. He's always managed to keep our system in the black. And he budgeted this year for a $60 million loss. They took that before the end of the second quarter.
Wow.
Okay, and we're busy as anything. So, that's like a wow.
That is a wow. So is it, then there's more to look into then.
How far can they go before they they cannot lay off clinical people because they've had trouble getting clinical people. So, I'm in IT. Hey, you still wonder, even though there's only 2 people that do my job, you don't know what they're going to do.
Right.
Yeah, don't know. So when you see numbers like that, yeah, you're gonna worry. Especially when you know that our health system has basically always been one of the healthiest health systems in this area.
Nonprofit.
Yep. Nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
So how can a company who's totally busy and running full capacity still not be making it?
Mm-hmm.
That combined with stuff like my electric going up 63% in 1 year.
Wow.
Yeah, and being close to retirement. Yes, I'm trying and not knowing which way to go.
Mm-hmm.
If what your economist friend says is right, if we go get a shallow recession for the next year, damn, that's lucky. I'll take that. My husband came up with something the other day when we were talking, and he came up with the Grain of Thrones, and I agree with him. I said, I think we are living in a modern Game of Thrones. And don't ask me which way it's going to go.
Yeah, true. Oh, well.
So.
Thank God for guitar.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
it's my stress relief.
So when you sit down and you take your stress relief and you're just noodling, don't feel guilty.
True. Yeah, true. All right. Well, I guess we just solved all the issues in the world here. So.
Yeah, but Tony's cup. Be nice and play guitar.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for signing on tonight, today, and tonight. Today, it's tonight if it's in Collins. And get done what you can get done. If not, just have fun.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Don't add any additional stress.
No more stress. Stress less.
Stress less.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Have a good day.